Okay, hi everyone, welcome to my first YouTube video, I guess. Well, it's not technically my first YouTube video. Originally I did have another channel where I posted gaming and things, but that was when I was young and terrifying and foolish and just dumb. And so I got rid of all of that and I couldn't update, so I didn't feel like that was something I could really do, especially at the time I was just studying uni, things like that, so I was just too busy, really, to be able to continue doing things like that. I just realised that you can see on the screen my eyes. That's annoying. Oh, basically, I thought that I would introduce myself and say, hey, this is me, my name's Zoe. You guys will probably know me from my online alias Strikaposse, and yes, that's how it's said. I know there's a lot of confliction between whether it's Strikaposse or Strikaposse, things like that. Technically, when I made it, I was with flatmates and I was meant to be making a username, and I just said, what's a username? And my flatmate misheard me and was in the middle of doing something else and told me to strike a pose. I was like, what? Okay. And then we were talking about how YouTubers were able to like make their fan base like their group a name, and I was like, yeah, like a posse. And then I kind of like posse, strike a pose. So yeah, basically today I thought that I would introduce myself and show you guys a little bit of what I do when it comes to special effects makeup. What I do special effects makeup wise is that I have a massive array of toolkit full of makeup, different things beside me at the moment. So I was thinking I could show you guys a really basic tutorial of how to make just a plain little cut looking thing. And I'm sorry the camera keeps shaking. I decided I wanted to do this on my bed while there was still a little bit of natural daylight left, which is going away, so I'm gonna have to try and do this rather quickly. So I will show you guys what I do with special effects stuff. So basically what we're gonna use, I have the proper product stuff because I got given this special effects kit as part of a special effects work thing that I was actually doing earlier last year. So I have the Ben Nye nose and skull wax, if that adjusts. I've got it in Fair. Generally you mix it to like make the skin color match your skin color, but apparently I have very generic skin tone, so this basically fits my skin tone almost exactly. Okay, buttermash. And I'm gonna take some of this. Then what you're gonna want to do, this stuff's really sticky already, you can see. It's sticky. So what you're going to want to do is grab a little bit of Vaseline. Also, if you don't have this stuff at home, which I know most of you won't, and you want to make some of the stuff of your own, mixing Vaseline and flour to make a kind of paste. You can make that into a paste and it becomes it's a lot softer, but you can use it for the same thing. It'll work really well for building up layers of skin and stuff for special effects. What I'm going to do is, I'm just going to do a real easy way. Normally you would put down some spirit gum and things on the area to make sure that it stays longer, things like that. And I'm just going to be doing this. And I'm just blending out the area. So there we go, it's a wee bit hard to see, but there is a bumpy looking layer of skin on my hand. And I'm just going to get some Vaseline and rub that over the top, because that just smooths it out. So it'll blend into your skin a whole lot nicer if Vaseline is smoothing it into the actual skin. I don't even know what I am like on camera. This is a really weird experience for me. Because I know this isn't how I would act if I was on Skype with a person, but apparently this is how I act when I am talking alone in my room. Well, it won't fall in because you guys will be watching me and stuff, and that's pretty cool and neat, but right now for me, sitting alone in my room, it's a wee bit strange. So basically, I'm just rubbing some Vaseline back onto this knife, and it's still got residue on it from the wax. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut straight through this, okay? Just like that. So now we have nose and skull wax with a cut in it. That looks pretty weird already. Ooh, my skin is cut in half. Ooh. What we do now is, quite often if you're doing this professionally, again if you want it to stay, you would put some, what's it called, liquid latex on it. Instead, just because this is a real easy one, I'm going to be taking it off pretty much right after. I'm just going to blend out the edges, so these corners need to be blended so that they don't look like they're just cutting back off really weirdly. The same way you'd see at the edge of a cut, that kind of thing. So it gets thinner at the ends. Let me just see if that'll fit. So at the ends, there we go. It's just sealed at the ends now. Now what we're going to do is we're going to dust over it with some translucent powder, and then we're going to put a little bit of red blush kind of thing over top. Try not to get anything that's glittery or too pink. You're just going for a reddy kind of blush so that it will look irritated. That's what I'm going to do now. This is my Ben Nye colourless setting powder. Just going to shake a little bit of that on. Hopefully not too much. You can see my hand is now covered in white powder. Promise you, this is not cocaine. It says right here, it's setting powder. Okie dokie. So now I'm gonna dust this on with a kabuki brush. This isn't a kabuki brush, but if I had one, that's what I'd be using. This is just a complexion brush, number 304. If that helps. At the moment, you'll see it's starting to look very smooth. The camera's having a hard time focusing. There we go. I think I'll get used to using the camera after a wee bit of time when I figure out what does what. I don't know what this is. I've had this for a very long time, but this is a really nice blush that I have. Camera lighting probably isn't going to look that great, but it's a very nice, ready kind of capillary blush. And I'm just gonna dust this. So now it looks all red and irritated, and as though I've actually irritated my hand real badly. There you go, you can kind of see that. And it's also very obvious at this stage to show that quite often the powder sticks to your actual skin compared to the wax. As you can see, the wax in the middle is a wee bit lighter. It looks a wee bit better in real life, but in this, it does definitely have a little bit of a difference. The wax is really smooth. To stop that, we use something called a stipple sponge, which you may not personally have. It's a little sponge that looks like this, and it's got lots of little jaggedy bits all around it. Basically what this does is you lightly dab it and then pat it back down for any of those excess bits. And basically what it does is it gives it a bit of a skin complexion. You know how your skin has all these wee lines and grooves in it? That's basically what this recreates on the wax. So now what we're going to do is we're going to put a little bit of liquid eyeliner, anything like that, something dark in the middle to give this a little bit more depth. And I have some e.l.f. liquid eyeliner that I'm going to be using to stick into my cut, as spooky as that is. And I'm just going to poke that in the middle. And now it's got that real deep cut look to it. It's real deep and black and scary. It moves when I open it like a mouth. Hello, what are you doing? Yeah. Okay, now what we're gonna do is basically add some blood, because this is a real simple one, and we just want to make this look as though it's a pretty fresh cut, okay? So, I have with me some Ben Nye stage blood, and the entire camera moved, because I'm not meant to be moving that much, because I'm on my bed, but, you know. Ben Nye stage blood, and what I'm going to do is crack this open, and dab a little bit in the middle. And like so, we've got some blood in that now, and it's already dripping. So what you're going to want to do now is you either use the knife that you used before or a Q-tip, anything like that, just to work that blood around the edges a wee bit, get it into the very edge of the crease. And now that stipple sponge comes in handy once again. So if we want it to be a fresh cut, then that works pretty well. So I'll show you guys that. So that's your kind of fresh cut look. It's a wee bit open and gory and things like that. If you want to make it look a little bit more realistic, you can use the stipple sponge to spread that blood out. Just a bit. And what that does is it gives it a jagged, ripped open effect. Also gives it a really irritated look around the outside. Gross. It's all been ripped open. Slathered effect. Like that. So that is basically your simple cut. You'd probably do that a wee bit better in like a better place, like a place that you'd actually get a scratch or a cut like that. So getting a scratch like that is not very likely unless you're like shielding yourself from an arrow and it's shot past your face. I don't know, you can make up some really cool different ideas. Quite often I'm that person that goes back over top and overdoes it just a little bit with the blood. Shake it to disperse it. There we go, just got a little bit more blood so it's kind of seepy and drippy. And that is your basic cut. So yeah, if you ever want to do some cool stuff for Halloween, that's a really good trick to know. I might do some videos of how to make your own homemade special effects things, like with the Vaseline flour, things like that. I've made some really cool stuff with homemade things, so don't think you're limited to just having the stuff you have at home. If you've got the professional stuff, then that's great. It's not that expensive, you can get it online, just Google Ben Nye special effects, and you'll be able to find it easy as. Otherwise, you can make your own stuff at home. Like, seriously, don't limit yourself to what you have available. So yeah, I have this now, and that's going to be fun and sitting on my hand for a wee bit. The rest of the channel, not entirely sure what I want to do with it. At the moment, it's definitely going to be really strange and different being... also, you'll notice the blood doesn't sit correctly. If you put a little bit of dishwashing liquid, which I don't have on me at the moment, a little bit of dishwashing liquid around the outside of the wound, the blood will sit on it like it does on normal skin, instead of that kind of falling off it effect. We can like spread it around. It's quite sticky, so you can make it really gross if you want to. All of this blood stuff is sweet and technically edible as well, so easy cleanup. So that's basically it. I wasn't really sure what I was going to be doing today, so hopefully just intro and showing you a little bit about some of the things that I could be doing. Quite often I'm probably going to be doing a lot of gaming because I have friends that game and I enjoy gaming, and it's a lot easier to record than trying to do a full setup. All the equipment and stuff that I have for special effects I genuinely want to be using for my actual clients, because it's very expensive because it's all from America and I live in New Zealand, which is what the accent is if you were wondering. I live in New Zealand and getting that imported is difficult and expensive, to say the least. I know you've probably seen things online where people are saying the outrageous shipping expenses can go up to $150 just shipping alone to get something here, whether that's $5, $10, $20 worth. So yeah, it's kind of intense. For those of you unaware, I'm probably going to be coming to America this August, so if you are going to PAX Prime, I will probably see you there. If you were wondering why I'm not putting up speed draws and that kind of thing, speed drawing, I'm not really that into doing art at the moment. Like, it's definitely something that comes and goes. So occasionally I'll feel like doing art and that'll be great. Sometimes software is fail, and last time I put up a video recording of the speed drawing of how I did my art, I got not the nicest comments from it, and so it's not something I really want to put up with again. It's something that definitely worries me, is the hate comments and things that you can get from doing YouTube. So as long as everything here goes okay and I don't feel extremely threatened by anything anyone says, then I will keep doing it. Which should be fine. Like, I'm pretty sure it was a very rare occasion that someone was gonna act that way and that kind of thing. So anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, even though it was very rough and I'm such a noob at YouTube, such a noob at recording anything on a camera. Whether that camera's good quality or not, it doesn't mean that I have the practice to be able to do it. So, hopefully you've enjoyed this so far. I know I've already said that. I'm sorry. Hope you've enjoyed it. And I will see you guys if I make another video soon. Thank you. Bye bye.